There is a lot to talk about with Optic and their decision making and how they play for each other. And one of those players that I'm going to be keeping an eye on this series, we heard from him in that package, Pistola, right? The veteran. This guy has a knack to stay alive. We always harp on it. He's a wizard for a reason. But look, man, I mean, the reality is that, you know, for this Optic Gaming team, this is an organization that wants championships, that wants Ws, they want wins. And this is the event where I think Optic really have to start putting it together. And I like hearing that they have been in the lab prepping and working so hard getting ready for this event, living and breathing Halo.
I was just going to say, not even just in the lab, living in the lab, according to Ole. He's like, I have not been leaving the house much. I've been kind of gaming, and I'm really ready for this. So bring it.
You know, out of the gate, not the worst start here for Cole. In fact, actually a pretty decent start for Cole. They were able to get power weapons, right? They also have presence up top. Like, they simply just need to put together, I stand corrected. They were not able to get the rockets, but even then, there wasn't really much that they could build off of that. This is where now Complexity have to just force the issue on B, or you know, maybe even go for the overextend. Like, you know, it's just going to be so hard, especially with Trippy with the Stalker rifle on balcony like this.
Yeah, and I like this play. It's interesting how Trippy decides to stay there, but it's a pretty powerful position staying on that C balcony,
killing spree.
Especially when you have that Stalker rifle, because getting one little shot weaved in there across the street makes such a big difference for your teammates, because they're not, now can go around the corner and two-shot BR somebody, or just get the melee / shot on somebody, get the kill.
That was a beautiful play there by Trippy. He was challenged from behind. Players were trying to force him off of C. But yeah, you know, Dave, you called it, right? It was like an odd play, but not really when you think about it, considering his positioning, what he had, and he didn't even need the assistance. He just needed the big red to give him what he needed.
We've seen this position be so strong, and it's not just in Trippy's hands either. I mean, when we were all commenting on Formal's massive Game 5, where he got, whatever, 25-ish kills here on Street Slayer, a lot of that was him parked over at the C balcony, doing damage with the Stalk Rifle, picking off players that were coming out in the middle. You know, obviously he went to other spots on the map during that game, but a big part of it was this anchor position. What I've seen a lot of teams do when they have control of A and B is, yes, they put some pressure on towards C and making them work together, but not as much pressure as I saw from Complexity. They had Hysteria all the way over on Purple Street. They had Rob the Turtle out front in the pillars in front of C. And then they had their players over on B Street attacking that driveway. They just had such a restricted, you know, limited access to get outside of C. And I really like that. They're just really doubling down, saying, all right, if we're going to try to lock them in here, let's truly lock them in here, and let's put so much pressure, make them guess every which way they're trying to turn when they're leaving C.
But was that the last swing that goes in Complexity's favor here? They're capping B currently. Trippy's trying to go there for the stop. They do secure it successfully, but how does this fight go here for Trippy? He's going to back away. Help from APG comes in. There you go. The one kill for APG. He's got himself 11 assists, so I ain't trying to take anything away from my boy Brad. He's contributing at the very least quite a bit here. And now this is where maybe Optic Gaming starts to cook, but Lucid waiting, biding his time. He's got two targets in front of him. Easy pickings there, and a killing spree, double kill to boot for Lucid. And now Optic Gaming have to figure out how to break this yet again, but I think the Rockets should help him out here.
Yeah, Rockets are good in this position.
Oh, no!
Unfortunately, I mean, just getting caught off guard, and that's just so dangerous. At this high level of play, Rockets are near guaranteed kills, but not quite so, especially in those chaotic times where you can't just, you know that your back is safe. Someone could be coming down the center. So, yeah, just really difficult position there for Ola.
B has been gained by Optic. They know where the spawns are. They got him pinned inside of A, but you got to watch out for the players on the split here by C. Huge fight coming up for Triton, and Trippy was getting shot from behind. That's going to be, was that 2 players down, I believe? So they got to really profit off of this Complexity, and they do just that. Spawns, though, are actually going to be in the favor of Optic over here by sub. So they're going to cap this one, but they'll be happy about that because they managed to secure A and B, and now Optic are back in a very familiar position, but they've been able to hold on to their lead enough, Dave, that if you're an Optic fan, you're not quite sweating yet. Complexity, though, looking to turn this into a victory potentially. It's a very close matchup between these two teams, and I did not expect to say that at the start of this series, but I also know that Stronghold Streets has that tendency to be a little swingy, a little chaotic from time to time, so perhaps this is where it's very much working out in Complexity's favor.
And this is just, I don't think any of us casters or on the analyst desk expected it to come out this way. We know Complexity is a strong roster. Do we think they're strong enough to take all these games off of Optic? I did not go into this match expecting that.
Yeah, it's still only game one, though, and clean shots from Pistola is going to look to potentially, go ahead and cap A, or cap C, excuse me. A is being capped by Hysteria presently, which that flip should come in. Now
I love that
B.
spot from Ola. You know, like there's so many times where it's kind of, when you're in C, you really can just hide from any sort of fights over from top A. But right there, I didn't realize you could just be hopping off that little planter and actually engage in somebody who's trying to hide from you in A.
Pistola inside of Red Room secures himself a double kill, holding B down still. Only 20 more points for Optic Gaming to walk away with the game one win. Complexity want this dub so bad, but when Pistola's have a killing spree, I mean, it's going to be pretty difficult to do so. Now the push comes in. What can Pistola do here? As Vetra's going to be rounding out the rear. You also have Hysteria over at the corner. A still being held. They need to make a move right now. Only a few seconds. And a huge stick there for Pistola. But a melee is going to come through, but it ain't going to matter because Optic Gaming picks up the victory. But a strong, strong showing from Cole. Complexity keeping that one a little close there, a little hairy for a moment. 250 to 214 for the green wall.
That tees us up perfectly for maybe a 1-1 and might lead towards another Game 5 because we've had so many Game 5s already in this tournament. And I think, looking at their layout, we might have another one.
Ladies and gentlemen, fasten your seatbelts. If you've learned anything this weekend, it's that Dan and I, when we cast Game 5s happen, we can only hope that that is the case here. We're going to hop in. It's Streets Strongholds to kick this one off, and we're going with Snakebite, Mr. Game 5 from earlier today, but he's already under fire, taken down, and Trippy puts him down into respawn. And I love this already out of Optic Gaming. Rockets in the hands of APG as well.
Good starting strategy from Optic, just able to flank round in the right areas to ensure that APG had enough room through the middle of the map to pick up those rockets pretty much uncontested. Now I will say, the last two times these teams scrimmed recently, this game type went in favor of Sentinels both times. So Optic, if they could turn this one around, that would be huge for their chances in this winners bracket semi.
Optic Gaming know that coming into this series, if they're able to take this game one, steal this away from a favorite game type of Sentinels, that would be massive for the rest of the series. Let's see if they have what it takes. Already up to a 24-point lead, and a great job so far to stay alive by APG, but more so Optic Gaming flipping the map. A and B control, but APG has his eyes set on C, and he may be able to transfer this one over, but he does have to worry about this pesky player over in the commando hall, but that player's long gone, Bradley. You need to figure out what the next play is. I love this by him to hop into C, but unfortunately, it's with a lot of wasted time, which has allowed Sentinels to get control. 6-1-1 Frosty is. They need to figure out a way to take him down, and just like that, that's going to be Trippy getting that kill. That's a big one for Trippy as he gets numbers in his team advantage. 3 go down for Sentinels. You see Trippy immediately hop into C. The rest of the boys for the green wall should be able to secure B and then focus on A. I love this flip of the map by Optic.
Snakebite got a really important trade there just to mean that B was going to be a little bit more difficult. Frosty needs to stay alive, which he will. Trippy doing some amazing damage, but now Sentinels, who spawned over towards Cathay, have to decide whether they want to try and fight for B or C here. If you go towards C, you leave yourself vulnerable from being shot from top stairs, so I think B is probably the correct fight.
2 members of Optic spotted, hopping into B, but he knows Royal 2's around here. Does land the headshot, and a nice shot from Trippy to deny Royal 2 pushing into C. Able to at least keep C controlled while his teammates come off respawn. 3 dead for Sentinels momentarily, as you saw the last player going for that set of rockets taken down. Trippy doing a phenomenal job with this Stalker rifle so far. Good damage on this Tires players, keeping Lucid alive, and 10 kills to his name. Can he get the 11th here? He's got Frosty no shield in the back of PD. He's got Lethal no shield in front of him, and Trippy is popping off.
And Trippy knew he couldn't just stay in C and use the Stalker rifle forever because the team weren't picking up any points. He had to move around the map and put that damage to a use where they could actually gain control, and because of that, they get that triple cap temporarily. Sentinels now forced back into station, but here comes the press, that triple cap, and these points, they're starting to really tally up. And now Snakebite, though, meanwhile, has found these rockets. He does connect, but it's not enough to get the kill. But he did get the information, at the very least, that there is one player towards Red Room. So we just need to communicate that to the rest of the team now so they can fight these players on driveway.
They're going to try and fight up driveway as Optic. One player flanks around, and it's the perfect flank that catches Snakebite and Royal 2 off guard. They both go down, and Optic now with numbers look to push A.
So much history between these two teams. Onset brought it up. They played each other in Rally, and of course APG on the Sentinels roster during the Halo 3 revival, during the MCC series as well. There's going to be a lot of pride on the line here. And even though it's only the winner's bracket at the moment, there's still that second chance in the elimination bracket. We know how deadly that elimination bracket is. Looking at the teams that are still alive in this tournament, they are all eager to make their way to the grand final. So you want to give yourself the best chance of getting there yourself here in winner's bracket.
Massive beatdown kill from Lucid there to take down Frosty. Snakebite goes down as well. Optic once again in the driver's seat. You have to think that he even gets to save this rocket and pressure C with it. And Snakebite, he's long gone after that perfect rocket from Lucid. A phenomenal job of Optic Gaming to get that first pick and capitalize. A stick comes through, doing it all with everything he's got. Lucid is starting to heat up as well.
There is a lot of eyes on this young man. Lucid is being potentially one of those players who is claiming as the best in Halo Infinite right now, and he is certainly proving it. 224 to 189. Optic are closing in on taking map 1, which would really help them in the favorite situation when it comes to these maps.
If you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. And although Sentinel's not your reigning champions, they are on the way to those reigning champions. So Lucid doing everything he can to make that statement a very factual reality. What can Sentinels do, though? That stick could be what takes it. They do hop into C momentarily. Can they get it? Absolutely not. Optic shut them down. They get them out. They get 250 points in game 1, and that's going to give them the lead here in this series.
So what has historically been quite a strong game type for Sentinels is taken by Optic, and that swings the entire series into the Green Wall's favor. When I'm looking at the stats and I'm looking who should be winning what, I had that down as almost a Sentinels guaranteed win. So that is a huge, huge swing here in this series already in game 1. And maybe that's going to have to try and wake Sentinels up quickly.
Each game has gone based off who has controlled those power-ups. So often did we see Sentinels getting control or at least shutting down the control. But now, we go into game 5, winner's bracket semifinals for all the marbles. 50 kills will determine the winner between these two. Once more, Optic Gaming and Sentinels on Recharge Slayer.
And Recharge Slayer is one of my favorite game 5s because it can be fast-paced, but it can slow down at just those right moments where you can cut the tension with a knife. But off the rip, both teams having the battle in control.
An Optic Gaming 3-push catwalk strat to open it up. Frosty finds the first pick. It looks like Camo's disappeared for now, but where did it go? It's on the ground. A kill onto the Camo player is what had happened, and that's going to allow Snakebite to punch it into his chest. But a great job by Optic to deny that from getting any further.
Both teams at the moment have a crossfire. They've all set up across the map. But here comes the flying players to try and assist. The trade comes through, 10-7.
The trade does come through, but Lucid in the meantime able to pick up this Camo. Has sword as well. Lethal knows he has sword. Unfortunately, Lethal gonna go down as well, and Lucid goes right back for his repulsor, and I love this by him, not forgetting that he dropped repulsor there, and he can use all of the sandbox to his utility now.
Also, Lucid knows he really wants to take control of these kind of close quarter areas with this sword, so that's why he's heading back to control at the moment. Frosty is in there and waiting and maybe surprised, but is Lucid failing this jump, or is he just trying to get information? I don't really care, because I'll always watch his POV and enjoy it.
Absolutely. He says, I'll make this jump. Maybe not, but they come through, so it's probably better that he doesn't make the jump. Unfortunately, because Lucid not able to impact the game just yet, he does lose his teammate, and Oa does get taken down as well, and that's a little bit of a blunder. Not often do you see Lucid miss jumps, but it works out in Trippy'S favor. He's got the kill with the sword, and not only that, now he's top ER with a shock rifle in hand.
Frosty has 8 kills right now. Lethal and Royal 2 still yet to find one, but of course, a couple of assists here and there for them, but maybe they need to catch up with Frosty in terms of the damage output as Lethal re-peaks, and Trippy will say thank you very much for the free kill.
Disrespectful was that re-peak onto Trippy, and Trippy makes him pay immediately. 7 kills separate Optic Gaming and Sentinels right now, and Trippy finds himself the 18th kill.
This is not good news for Sentinels. Already down by 8, and all the goodies are in the hands of Optic Gaming right now. A new Mangler is up there, and yep, I thought so. Lucid is going to be there and says, thank you very much. I'll put that in my back pocket.
I'll cover you, bro. You go get the Mangler. Nice job. Now Trippy just with 1 shot in this shock rifle left, trying to use it to help his team secure this Camo, but if he misses this, he's only gonna have a BR to play around. Lucid does find a kill, a melee kill in the kill feed right there. You have to think that Mangler coming into use right now for him. Trippy trying to finish off Royal 2, actually gets repulsed back. It works out in his favor as he does get that kill. Royal 2 still killless in a game 5. You know that won't last long, but Optic Gaming 21-12 now.
Well, 9 kills for Frosty, and definitely the chance to get them back into it right now with the camo and sword, but it's about where he goes. You've got 2 decisions. You can try and push over towards Elevator, or you can just dominate the gold area. It looks like Elevator is going to be the choice. He's already seen 1, but patience here as he knows there's more.
One wisely, trigger discipline. I guess this trigger discipline with the sword finds 2. Does get taken down. And Trippy with the double, the perfect kill as we barely, narrowly saw the end of it. But that's Trippy swinging numbers back into Optic Gaming's favor and keeping this at an 8-kill lead.
They've got to be careful. They've got to maybe take this out of Trippy's hands, because it seems like every time there's a shock rifle, it's always going to be falling to one of these Optics players, and they have been doing work with it, and you've got to be careful with these peaks. You've got to put some respect on Trippy's name, because he's been hitting these shots.
Yeah, eventually you're going to catch on to where if he's not missing, you got to stop giving him opportunities. But it has slowed down once again, and Trippy is going to try and relocate now that his presence has been spotted, but doubles back. He's been disrespected before. Royal 2 finds his first kill of the game, and that's a big one. Maybe he can build some momentum on the other side of the map. But Trippy, I love this by him, relocating into red, controlling pipes, and I love how Optic Gaming has controlled the entire pace of this game so far.
Yeah, they really have, and Sentinels, they know that this next camouflage is coming up, but they're reluctant to push out in any of these angles because they're not sure where the shock rifle is right now. Trippy has done very well at repositioning to be unpredictable, and Lethal walks right into the trap, and that's going to allow now Optic to potentially push down and grab that camouflage.
Onset said he wanted to see the Trippy series. We may see the Trippy Game 5 as his control of the shock rifle has been nothing short of perfect. 12-2-4 in a Game 5, giving Optic Gaming the 33-20 lead.
Even though Sentinels have played this map so well in scrims, it seems again Optic have worked on one of their weaker game types here. Lethal gets repulsed away and doesn't have a chance to use the sword. APG and Optic, now they're going to look to even go on more of a tear here.
And once again, Camo, sword in control of one player on the map. Such a massive power curve. Camo is going to go out shortly, but APG actually gets out of Elevator, and not only that, finds a kill on the Lethal. A massive job by APG. Great awareness from him, and he's got 10 kills as well, so as great of a game as Trippy is having, APG is right behind him.
A 14 kill difference. Now, I've seen some crazy things happen in this tournament and in previous tournaments, but if Optic throw away a 14 kill lead, I think everyone in this arena would gasp so loud it would make an audible that would be even louder than you, Clutch.
I'll throw up. If they throw this lead, I'll throw up, I promise you, because it would make me sick to my stomach to watch these guys give up such a lead in such a big moment for them. I love what we're seeing from Optic Gaming. Controlled pace right now as they look to push Elevators. They get 2 more kills towards their total, and just 10 now to separate themselves in a match between them and Cloud9.
The trouble is, every time Sentinels try and slow this one down, Optic Gaming speeds it right back up in the right areas. 9 more kills needed for Optic, and, well, that's going to be 27 more needed for Sentinels. I think that says it all right now. And Sentinels, they're just flooding in to try and do something, but time and time again, they're going down. Camo's going to be up in 5, 6 kills remaining.
Flooding in to try to do something does not sound like an epic strategy that will work against such a strong Optic Gaming roster. 14 for both Trippy and APG. Lucid using grapple to get himself the Mangler combo, and we saw how lethal this could be on live fire. We're going to see it again here and now.
Cloud9 are waiting in the winners finals, and I think they're starting to realize their opposition is going to be Optic Gaming at this point. Just 1 kill remaining. Sentinels have been so far off the pace.
I hope these boys are hungry, because steak is on the menu tonight. It was a hell of a series, but Optic Gaming with 1 more kill will look to close the door, and there it is. The green wall prevails, smiles across the board for the boys in green. And what a series it was, but Optic Gaming, they got to Game 5 and they said absolutely not this time.